What's good, everybody, and welcome back to the channel for another episode of our Oakland Athletics franchise here on MLB The Show 23. We have got quite the slate of division games for this episode from May 2nd to 11th. It is nothing but divisional games. We'll be playing those games today, but before we do that, I wanted to switch up the order a little bit. I feel like Ian Happ and Bobby Witt could use a bit of a switch in the order. There's a couple reasons for that. Ian Happ has the table setter perk. Performance better when no runners are on. Like you're gonna just make better use of that as a leadoff hitter. And then Bobby Witt has very high clutch ratings, which I feel like you're gonna make use of that having Ian Happ and Gleyber Torres sitting ahead of you instead of the bottom of the order. Both guys have been solid this year, but I feel like they can be better. So I want to test out having them switch up the order for the next month or so, see if that can help raise averages or anything of the sort. As, like I said, while they've been solid, I think they can be better than they have been to start this year. Let's first hop into this Rangers game where the series is split after the first two games. And this one will be the deciding factor as to who will win this series. Ian Happ will get us started off with a hit. Had the green light there with the 3-0 pitch. Chop right up the middle. We'll get him on base to start the day for Oakland. Gleyber Torres, who has been quite good to start this year, also gets one up the middle. And we've got our first two batters both on base, bringing up Bobby Witt. Let's see if we can put that good clutch rating to use. That slider will get inside the zone and be a called strike 3. Strikeout for Bobby Witt, and then Franmil Reyes will tap this. Will not be a double play, but now we'll have runners on the corners with 2 outs. Boyce McDermott bring across a run. He has also been very good to start this year. Unfortunately, this one gets underneath, and that will be caught by Bubba Thompson fairly easily. And so got our first 2 runners on base, but couldn't get anything from it. Bubba Thompson now on the other side of the plate, I should say, will ground out to start the game for the Rangers. Martinez strikes out swinging at the low circle change, bringing up Corey Seager. He gets a hold of this one into left field. That should be extra bases. Very nice hit. Will put a man in scoring position for the Rangers now with 2 outs. Can they take advantage of it? Not with a beautiful strikeout pitch like that from German Marquez. So both teams will strain a man in scoring position in the first inning. Seth Brown, that's not a swing that I am particularly proud of. There's the slider. Was not close. For some reason, I take slider cheese like all the time. I need to get better at recognizing that pitch. Soderstrom will reach via walk, but he's trying to steal. I mean, he's not slow by any means. I don't know if you need to be quite that aggressive, though. He gets caught stealing. So Lawrence Butler now with 2 outs at the plate. This one is deep and gone. No doubt home run for Lawrence Butler. Could have been a 2-run homer if Tyler Soderstrom hadn't tried to swipe a bag. But either way, the Oakland Athletics will get on board first in the second inning. And I just really like Lawrence Butler's swing. There's something about it that I just seem to hit well with. I mean, have we had really a bad game when we hop on the sticks with Lawrence Butler? I have to put him lower in the order because he only hits decently, when I'm not controlling him. But, jeez, that man is a beast. when we play. Ramon Laureano would then strike out to end that inning for us. Adolis Garcia strikes out after the leadoff man gets on base via walk. Jonah Heim pops this one in the left field, and there's 3 guys all in the area, but none of them's gonna make the play. So that will be a hit, and now there's a man on first and second. That was super fun to see. Justin Foskey will get a hold of this one, but hit pretty much directly at Boyce McDermott. Will be the second out of the inning. So Rangers in danger of leaving a man on scoring position, stranded again, but this one is lifted deep by Hendricks, but out at the warning track by Boyce McDermott. One was quite close to the Rangers taking the lead here. Ian Happ gets another hit to lead off the top of the third as the order flips over after the first 2 innings. Bringing up Gleyber Torres. He also will get on base for the second time in a row. This one will be extras. And now we've got 2 men on scoring position, no outs. We have got to get these guys across home plate in this inning. We've got to stop leaving runners on base stranded. We've had a horrible habit of doing that, it seems like, in this series. Franmil Reyes is up after Bobby Witt goes down with a grounder. And this will be a tag situation to bring across one of the runs. So at least we don't strand both of them. But can we get Gleyber Torres across as well? Boyce McDermott will hit this one to center field, but Bubba Thompson has the range to go and snag it. So we'll only bring across one of those 2 runs. Bubba Thompson will get a grounder up the middle for a leadoff single for the Rangers top of the third, but that will quickly be a 5-4-3 double play next up. Very nicely done by Ian Happ to get that one started. You always love a good double play action in baseball. Always feels real nice. Corey Seager will single this one right up the middle. Bobby Witt couldn't quite get to that one. 2-2. And this one smoked to right, but luckily Ramon Laureano was able to get to it, because that one likely would have scored somebody had it hit the ground. All right, so Tyler Soderstrom is back up. He has not quite been very good this year, I should say. He did reach base in his first at-bat. This time he will ground out, but he's been struggling to start this year. Lawrence Butler, after his homer, will reach base for the second time via walk. And Laureano got a decent piece of that, but it'll go right to Garcia. And we will go down quietly in the 4th. Marquez will get out Semien, who's been kind of Athletics killer to start this series through the first couple of seasons. So far hasn't killed us in this game, but it's certainly not too late to do so. Rangers go down quietly in the 4th, though, so that's now 4 shutout innings for German Marquez, who's been pretty solid to start this year, kind of what I was hoping from him. Ian Happ was 2 for 2, trying to go 3 for 3, can't get it, as been hitting a lot of these ground ball hits to in this game. Hasn't really shown a bunch of power, and you can't always hit the gaps when you hit these short. But Bobby Witt 0 for 2 on the day, and make that 0 for 3. I do not know what I was waiting for there. I think I was sitting on a breaking ball, but strikeout looking on a pitch like that, not my favorite moment. We'll just say that from a Reyes. brought in a run via sacrifice fly. Can he bring in another here? This one will touch down, and we are going home, but the throw is on time from Garcia, and we are thrown out. I do not mind the aggressive base running in that instance at all, but you got to respect when the opposition makes a good play. Justin Foskey will reach to start the bottom of the fifth, but Marquez has been on his stuff today, especially that high fastball. I feel like has been working for strikeouts particularly well in this matchup. Bubba Thompson gets a nice bit of contact, but not good enough to be out of the reach of Ramon Laureano. Pablo Martinez is going to squeak this one past the third base line. And now the Rangers, they've been putting themselves in scoring position a lot, but they just haven't been able to bring across the runners. This one will be easily caught by Lawrence Butler. And once again, no runs brought across. So Ramon Marquez allowing some base runners, but none of those guys are crossing home plate, which at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, right? Getting runs across the board. Got a lucky walk here from Seth Brown as Joe Barlow came in for relief in the sixth inning, and he comes in and walks the first two batters. They were both competitive, full count pitches. It wasn't like he just couldn't find the zone or anything. We just got base via walk. Does get a strikeout there on Butler, and then Laureano as well. So walks and strikeouts is what we got there. Sixth inning. Marquez would remain in the game for the sixth inning. I don't know why we'd take him out. He still had some energy, and despite allowing some base runners, he was coming through in the clutch for us. Wanted to give him a sixth, and so far it has been working out for us. Garcia lifts this one deep to right, but Laureano able to track it down. Our corner outfielders getting a decent bit of work in this game. Ian Happ, another grounder, but this one will find the gap. That's his third single of the day. Not showing a lot of power, but hey. I'll take getting on base. Gleyber Torres swings at a pitch way inside. He'll be out, but it'll advance Ian Happ into scoring position with one out. Bobby Witt, 0 for 3, hasn't had a great start to this game. This will be a wild pitch that'll put Gleyber Torres on third and even the count at 2-2 for Bobby. I would like to see him get a hit, as he's one of the guys on the short list that I'm most invested in his developments. We traded a ton for him. This one will touch down, and he will pick up an RBI single, extending our lead to 3-0. So got what we wanted on that occasion. 1-2 pitch for Reyes. He will ground this one, and the throw is way over the head at second base, and there will be a throw to hold our runners at second and third, but an error will put two more Athletics in scoring position with one out. Time for Boyce to step it up. He'll at least reach base via walk, but that will bring in play a double play, but Seth Brown will not let that happen. That one touches down, and it should bring home 2 runs. Wow, Boyce McDermott's going to overlap Bruno Reyes, and he almost did there, but he also got himself out. Second time we've been tagged trying to go home, but again, I don't mind the aggression there, especially in a game that's we've got a pretty nice lead on. But 5-0. Tyler Soderstrom will lift this one, and we'll strand a man at third, bringing up a pretty comfortable lead for the Athletics. Aaron Marquez, I decided to even let him in for a 7th after a pretty strong 6th. And he will get a double play out of the inning, 6-4-3. And turns out letting him in the 7th wasn't a bad idea at all. And Lawrence Butler barely caught out there. They gave us the opportunity to challenge, but it seemed like the throw was on time. So decided against that. Laureano 0 for 3 on the day will get to go to first with a walk. I felt like I did a good job being patient and drawing walks. More than usual. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still had a few just awful swings in this game for strikeouts, but I'm fine with that as long as I'm showing patience sometimes, and like I did. Gleyber Torres, you know, talked about him having an excellent year. He's also having an excellent game. His 3rd hit. Now, Bobby Witt as a man in scoring position here. Lifts this one deep left field, but not quite deep enough. So we will leave 2 on, but we've got a nice 5-0 lead for Luis Oviedo, Rule 5 draft pick, who allows a single to Bubba Thompson to start his day, bringing up Julio Pablo Martinez. This one's lifted deep to center, but Lawrence Butler doesn't need to move much to make the play this time around. Hit nearly right at him. Full count for Corey Seager. He gets him swinging on the low changeup. Could have got on base via walk, but Oviedo got him swinging. Now Tyler Soderstrom will range over and end the 8th. Rangers in danger of not getting any hits in this game, and that brings up Adam Simber. I'm gonna guess Kimber. I don't know, but all I know is he is a very annoying submarine pitcher. I am happy we got a hit off of him in this inning. Holy crap, dude. I cannot recognize a submarine pitch to save my life. There's like a starting pitcher that's a submarine pitcher. We're not scoring a run. I'm just going to not play those games. Man, that was painful. I'm glad that the game was basically in hand because I did not enjoy hitting against a submarine pitch. Gleyber Torres here, almost with a very sexy double play, but man at first will be safe instead. Still a nice effort by him. And they will say that Foskey wins to seal the Athletics victory. A very nice game from Marquez as well as the offense. I feel like 5 runs is certainly a good number to hit. You're going to win a decent amount of games with 5 runs. Of course, you'd always like more. We left more guys in scoring position than I would like, but Lawrence Butler, of course, with the solo homer, had a very good game. Gleyber Torres is somebody that I just wanted to give a quick shout out to. Talked about him in the game, of course, but with a 982 OPS, 1.6 WAR, that's like almost a full WAR ahead of anyone else on the team. Just wanted to do a couple of player lock games for the Angels series. I want to play a little bit of all 3 of our divisional series that we have in this episode, just in a different way each time. And this way is going to be via a couple of player locks for a couple of shoutouts for people who have had very strong starts. Gleyber Torres has been better than anyone, and that so far is looking like a very nice signing for the Athletics. A nice upgrade at second base over Tony Kemp from the first 2 seasons, as he's been what I wanted. I really felt like the team needed some guys who were good on both sides of the plate. I've been drafting and trading for and signing just a bunch of guys who, you know, are impactful on one side, but not necessarily the other. Boyce McDermott being one of those players, but at the plate, he has been very good. He's actually on a little bit of a old streak right now. He was hitting up near 300 with a 900 OPS recently, but those numbers are still really good, so I wanted to give him the second of our 2 shout-outs here for a couple of player lock games with the Angels. And that's a nice play made at right field. That speed is something we've definitely seen come into play in the outfield. That's a nasty slider there. Mid-second, but we got across in that first inning. The 4 batters all in front of Boyce McDermott were across home plate. So really a hot start to this one, and that's been the only time anybody's scored through the first 4 innings in this game. Lead now 6-0, top of the 6th. Boyce McDermott gets a nice hold of this one, deep to right field, and it will pop the wall. I was kind of hoping that one would stay inside or maybe take a weird bounce. I think that easily could have been a triple. This was a weird fielding sequence. It wasn't letting me go up the extra little bit I needed to go up to field it cleanly. I'm glad we still were able to field it. Anyway, but a couple of hits here for Boyce McDermott. Let's go try to swipe a bag with all that speed in easily. I wish his steal rating was a little bit up. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me for somebody to have so much speed and not have any stealing at all. And then what I'm going to do for the rest of this episode was turn on critical situations, and we got one against the Rangers, which is exactly what we wanted. We'll go top of the 9th. Christian Javier is trying to pitch a full game shutout against us. And of course we'll go CPU versus CPU just to get 3 different kinds of gameplay all in this episode. Get a little bit of a taste of all of our division rivals. This one's just a small taste of the Astros, but they are back at the top of the division. They won the division and the World Series in year 1 for their 2nd straight title. Kind of fell off a little bit in year 2, but they're back on top once again. And Boyce McDermott has only stolen 3 bases in this season, and he stole both there, but Lawrence Butler will strike out. Javier didn't get the complete game, but he did get the win. 1-0 is always a tough way to lose. When all you needed is 1 hit to stay in it, you know. Always a tough way. Let's see who wins this series. Houston will take the series tiebreaker with a 6-5 victory. So we came into this episode exactly 500. We're gonna leave it 500 as well. Nobody's been particularly strong to start this season, but nobody's been too weak either. Mariners will actually take the lead. The Astros had it to start the episode. The Rangers are the only team that's well below 500 at this point in the season, so it's going to be a very competitive division this year. And I think for the first time we are actually in the mix, so I'm excited to see how this season continues. That is all I have for this episode. I'll be back soon with another, and I will see you then.